We all have heard the stories of the Bermuda Triangle, that bizarre area where ships and planes seem to go missing and never to be seen again. It turns out there are actually several areas in which these triangles are found around the world. Today we'll be discussing one such location, the Bridgewater Triangle. The specific boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle were first defined by paranormal researcher Loren Coleman in his book Mysterious America, saying that the towns Abington, Rehoboth, and Freetown are all three of the points of the triangle. Now, similar claims have been made about an area in the neighboring Vermont called the Bennington Triangle, so shows a little bit that these triangles are kind of everywhere, and there's a lot, so I'm probably not going to do all of them. There are actually a lot of historical places and landmarks within inside of the triangle, such as the Hockomock Swamp, which literally translates into the place where the spirits dwell. Creepy. Now, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but the Digton Rock, also found within the boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle. It apparently is a decent landmark. I've never visited. I wouldn't know. Freetown-Fall River State Forest is also located within the triangle and has reportedly been a site of various cult activity, including animal sacrifice, ritualistic murders committed by cultists and Satanists, as well as a number of gangland murders and a numerous amount of suicides. Profile Rock is also located within inside of the Bridgewater Triangle, where Wampanoag historical figure Anawan received the last wampum belt from Philip. A lot of big words, and I'm assuming they're all Native American, but Philip is kind of strange, so I'll see how that goes. I need to look into this myth and legends and lores of these things now, because gosh darn it, Profile Rock. It is also said that the ghost of a man can be seen sitting upon the rock with his legs crossed and his arms outstretched. This rock is located within the Freetown-Fall River State Forest. Now on to the good part. Similar to the Bermuda Triangle, the Bridgewater Triangle also lays claim to a number of paranormal and supernatural events, which is kind of a trend going along with all sorts of triangles. There's a lot of phenomenon and reports of UFOs, mysterious animals and homicides, along with ghosts and poltergeist type material. There's actually a decent amount of Bigfoot sightings within this area, mainly centering around or near the Hockomock Swamp. There are claims of half-man, half-ape creatures entering the woods near the swamp, dating back into the 1970s. Local resident John Baker also reported seeing a large hairy beast in the river in the swamp while kayaking. Also reported in the area are Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are pterodactyl-like flying creatures with wingspans ranging anywhere from 8 to 12 feet, claimed to have been seen in the Hockomock Swamp area and neighboring Taunton. Reports include even that of a Norton police sergeant, Thomas Downey. Now, going back to what we talked about earlier, there are a lot of animal mutilations. Various incidents of animal mutilations have been reported, particularly in the Freetown and Fall River areas, where local police were called in to investigate mutilated animals believed to be the work of the occult. Two specific incidences in 1998 were reported, one in which a single adult cow had been found butchered in the woods, another in which a group of calves were discovered in the clearing. Both were grotesque mutilations that would seem to be taking part of a ritual or a sacrifice. These areas also seem to lay claim to Indian curses. According to one legend, the Native Americans had cursed the swamp centuries ago because of the poor treatment it had received from the colonial settlers, which makes a lot of sense. A revered object to the Wampanoag people, a belt known as the Wamput Pelt, which we talked about earlier, was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal uprest to the fact that the belt was lost from the native people. Now, this next part, guys, I'm going to read directly from the website, thebridgewatertriangle.com. Might need a better name there, but all of these are actually articles and links that you can be clicking. I'm going to have the link for the overall site in the description below, but this is just to give you an idea of the type of things that happen, because there are a long list, and I just kind of want to give you a more, not so like research-based assault to it. I'm going to show you like what's actually going to be happening. The first article that shows up is literally titled, "Horror in Bridgewater Triangle, is there a serial killer among us?" That's pretty serious. Now, I'm not going to look into any of these articles because it's going to take some time, but I'm encouraging you guys to go check it out. I'm going to keep reading though, so enjoy. Bridgewater Triangle, monster snakes and vanishing lakes. Very catchy there, guys. Up next is talking about the Fox 25 reporter News crew mystified by equipment malfunctions while touring Bridgewater Triangle hotspots. So this could probably be attributed to the paranormal claims in the area. The next article is called He Moves in Mysterious Ways, The Strange Path of Bigfoot in the Bridgewater Triangle Area. Now this article, guys, is dating back into the 1970s and even earlier, so this is actually an interesting thing for any of you Bigfoot lovers and believers. Next up is talking The Lost Boy of Rehoboth. This is actually, I believe, a child who went missing a while back, so this isn't like a current thing if you guys are looking into more recent claims. The next one coming up, guys, is Freetown Forest. Unidentified floating objects descend from the sky in 1942. So this is actually claiming in to the UFO sightings phenomena that plague this area, and it's even talking about human forms of some witnesses seeing with inside the objects. Next is actually a bit of like an urban legend mixed with a bit of a mystery. The red-headed hitchhiker, the 4 stories that made him infamous, and the author behind the legend. Now this is actually kind of playing into what we talked about last week for the phantom hitchhikers. If you're interested in that type of stuff, definitely look him up, because I've never heard about him before, and apparently he has a name. So that makes him pretty serious. The next one, guys, is actually talking about Black Dog, the mystery of the Black Dog of Bridgewater Triangle. Now, it apparently seems that this dog is bulletproof, because it says in the little description that it was shot. So if you guys know anything about the lore of black dogs or hellhounds, this could be interesting for you. The next one's for you cute animal lovers, the bizarre appearance of baby seals in 2 Bridgewater Triangle towns in the span of 2 weeks. This is a little bit bizarre because I believe seals aren't inhabitants of this area of the world, so it is kind of bizarre to see them appearing. It may or may not just be that someone released them, or they're from the zoo. I don't really know. The next article is entitled Reaching from Beyond, the Ghostly Handprint from the Bridgewater Triangle. Now this is actually a bit of a mystery / urban legend again, and in the description it's saying it's dating back all the way to 1903. So if you guys are big history buffs and paranormal lovers, check this out. And continuing with that paranormal claim, there's actually a next one called Hey, Teacher, Leave Them Kids Alone. Very catchy again. I like this person who makes this site. An unusual Bridgewater Triangle haunting. Now this is dating back even further into the 19th century of 1880, and apparently a school being haunted, so I actually would read this one. I might go back and read that one. And then the next 2 guys is talking about some of the murders in the war history back there, because clearly there's going to be some history on the East Coast of war, and I'm pretty sure most people know what went down in America at that time. I don't need to explain the Civil War, Revolutionary War, World War II fears. I think you get the picture here. So let me know, guys. I personally believe that there is probably something going on here, because there just seems to be way too many stuff happening to just exclude every single one. I believe at least 1 or 2 could be true, because apparently these areas, I've done a little bit of research into triangles, and it seems to be like something within the earth naturally is attracting them. So I try to think of on like a more scientific level of this. I know there's a few things that could be attributed to maybe the atmospheric changes. There could be like a higher electromagnetic field area. There's a few things that could explain this more scientifically, and little science guy will pop up now because he is awesome. But I know you guys, there's a few of you out there that are a lot more skeptical, and a lot more of you guys that are a bit more believing into these types of things. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think the Bridgewater Triangle is legit? Do you think it's as good, or if not better, than the Bermuda Triangle? Or do you think that that one is still the king of triangles? Discuss that down below, and I will see you again next week. Thank you for staying with us to the end. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button down below and leave a comment in the comment section. I always consider suggestions for new videos and topics, so do not be shy. Also, do not forget to subscribe in order to stay up to date on all things unexplained. Until then, I hope to see you again next time as we take another trip into the realm of the unknown.